God Save the King.
God save our gracious King, long live our noble King. God save our King. Send him victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save our
Oh, what a fabulous moment for Nelly and Teddy and Otto and Hugo and their dad. My goodness. 2 weeks tomorrow, Fiji will open their World Cup against Wales in Bordeaux. And they will head to France feeling pretty good about life. They've won 3 of their 4 tests. Steve Borthwick will know that. 3 of their 4 tests so far this year, which is actually their best run since the build-up to the 2019 tournament in Japan. They have, however, never beaten England. Now would be a reasonable time. If you were watching last night, if you were here last night, you'll have seen the All Blacks and their haka. Today it's Fiji's turn to lay down their challenge. Fiji's challenge, the Thimby. Led by their captain today, Waisea Nayathalevu. So, confirmation of the teams. Already mentioned a landmark day for an English great. Courtney Law is about to play for his country for the 100th time. And captain again in the continued absence of Owen Farrell. Billy Vunipola now on the ban list as well. Ben Earl starts at number 8. First test start for Theo Dan. And the first test start for Alex Mitchell at scrum half. Tuolangi and Lawrence paired together for the first time, while Johnny May makes an unexpected return on the wing after the World Cup ending injury to Anthony Watson. Simon Raiwalui has played around a little with the Fiji pack that set off against France a week ago. Northampton's Sam Matavesi is back at hooker. Gloucester's Albert Tuasui returns at number 6, and at number 8, Edinburgh's bullocking Viliami Mata set to test English defensive fabric, and these backs as well, fireworks wherever you look, including skipper Nayathalevu and Semi Randrandra at 12 and 13. Their first time together in midfield. If you're wondering about Botia and Tuasova, one is rested, the other's injured. Benchwise, England get a first look this month at a now fit hooker Jack Walker. I wonder if we'll see Marcus Smith at fullback again. Fiji's Temo Mayavanua and Kalaveti Ravovo will be playing for Northampton and Bristol post-World Cup. Well, Topsy and Dylan are going to watch this one with us, and before you look at the threat of Fiji's power game, Topsy, I know you've got your eye on one Englishman, Dylan.
Yeah, for me, Alex Mitchell. If you're a Premiership rugby fan, you know how dangerous he is. Originally left out of the squad, Jack Van Portfleet obviously injured. Alex gets an opportunity today. He is an instinctive rugby player. He's like a little rat. He's always sniffing around for something to do, and he's looking for a break. He's looking for something the whole time. And I think this England team right now need instinct. They need someone to spark something, and he's the guy.
And then from the Fiji perspective, look no further than that man, Semi Randrandra. He will be all action, he'll be carrying, he'll be offloading, he'll be a big link between strong forwards and quick backs.
Jaco Paper, South African, who will blow the whistle to start the World Cup on opening night in Paris with us today. It's a bit breezy right now, but there are some angry-looking clouds overhead. We've been warned there's rain on the way. England can expect some thunder and lightning on the pitch as well. Fiji are in town. And Frank Lamani's kick, a bit of a scruffy one, but in the end finds its intended target. South Africa put on quite a show for us last night, a record-breaking one against New Zealand. What do these two have to offer for one last time before the World Cup? Earl at 8 and immediately releasing Manu Tuolangi. England in black today, you'll have noticed. Fiji in their white. And then Ollie Lawrence. That link between Tuolangi and Lawrence for the first time at 12 and 13 today will be worth watching. Likewise for Fiji, Randrandra and Naithalevu. Those two in defensive mode at the moment as England go through the phases. Genge and then Ford and Tuolangi again. Second time he's been involved early on. But then Fiji populating the breakdown and England conceding the penalty.
Well, initially it's what you'd want to see from England. When you pick Lawrence and Tuolangi together, you want to see those guys carrying hard, carrying direct. But after a couple of phases, really good intervention by Lomani there. Targeting the breakdown, making a very timely intervention for Fiji.
Yes, early on, Manu Tuolangi dirtying his hands.
Well, first phase starter, you can almost create a one-for-one. Give him a soft shoulder to attack in, and then use that momentum to continue to generate quick ball. That's 2 carries in this opening phase, but if the cleaners aren't there, if the carries are too good, you risk getting turned over.
Fiji line out, spun away by Veriki Deveta. Lamani onto it quickly. And then Viliami, Bill Mata.
Underway, no one.
Bosi working hard. Through midfield, the winger. Fiji trying to lay some bricks on halfway, but England have done brilliantly. And the captain
6 over it.
Getting in there, getting his hands on the ball critically.
Yeah, I forgot to mention Jackal. Jackal threw it at the breakdown. For such a big man, gets his arms in there. Good understanding of when to compete as well. Appropriate time to get hands in on the ball there.
Good low tackle by Chesham as well, and that's the tactic. If one person goes low, you need your jacklers in there, picking their moments. Courtney Law's doing that brilliantly there.
Theo Down, the Saracen hooker, first test start for him.
Scrum. Definitely not straight.
Straight.
Scrum option taken. Inside. It's inside. Think you mark there. Yep. Stay there now. Stay there. Yeah.
Fiji currently 9th in the world rankings. They're nestled in between Wales and Australia. England are 6th. Population of just under 1 million dotted around their Pacific islands. It's reckoned that right now around half of them are tuning in for this. Team excited about the country coming together again around the World Cup. Cleared away by Caleb Muntz, 23-year-old fly half, who's come rather late into the World Cup conversation. His debut in Tonga last month, a long-time fly half. Ben Vola missed out on selection for France. Dan gets another go. This time he does pick out his target, Chesham, and England can once more go through the gears. Fiji's back's offside, so England with free ball here, and Dan. Such a ball of energy with Saracens in the Premiership last season. Ford at 10 once more, Stewart at fullback once more. And the England player to start all 4 of these Summer Nation Series games. I'm interested to see how Ben Earl goes at 8 with Billy Vunipola suspended. Here's Max Malins. Anthony Watson was the right wing in Dublin. He's out after his calf injury, gone from the World Cup, sadly for him. Itoje takes it up, but back for the offside. Fiji's backs up too quickly off that line out.
Well, again, a really strong carry by Manu Tuolangi from the first phase. And again, England will just start to toy around how they target Fiji, especially as the rain starts to come down now. But twice Manu has carried off the first phase, so expect as the game develops, they might start to then use their other options, use their wingers, use Ollie Lawrence. You can see, I'll take an example, you've got Johnny May behind, you've got Ollie Lawrence in behind as well. So as the game unfolds, start to hopefully see England to use those different options at the game line.
Well, Fiji Rather got on the wrong side of Nika Amasha-Kelly in the early minutes of the match in Nantes last Saturday night, and France very happy to kick 3 penalties in the first 10 minutes to set their foundations, and England likewise here. No question about going for the corner. Let's pocket the points if they can. And George Ford. And England ahead. England 3, Fiji 0.
Yeah, really good decision. Could be considered to be a bit boring, but it takes this thing out of the game. Fiji want the ball in play. They want the game to be loose and unstructured, and I think that just lets England reset, lets them complete. They've spent a bit of time down in the half, and they finally lead with points, which is a big plus.
France with the high hanging restart. It's a great kick-off.
That's fine. No more for the first man in.
Robert Amanda, every opportunity to
And
get
user
there,
is
but England
available.
were just highest.
Take it out.
And here's Mitchell. Loads of Saints fans excited to see him start for his country for the first time. His 6th cap. And England winning these kicks, which is something they didn't do in Dublin a week ago. Genge to Ford, looking to spread it beyond Tuolangi to Lawrence, who cuts back inside, telling us that we haven't seen the best of him yet in an England shirt, maybe today. Mitchell to Ford, and now Dan. Toji over the top, making sure that Genge can run with it once more, and this is Jack Willis in for his first start of the summer. Captain Courtney. Ford's kick. Oh, Tuolangi was very nearly onto it, and the ball ricocheting around off Drow Sese, and England have
It's off
it and setting up a reasonable position.
Leave it.
Lawrence stretching for all his worth to lay it back.
It's accidental offside.
Topsy, you're our attack specialist today, but I can see really nice variety in our passing today. But with variety, there's genuine options at the game line, right? So Alice Genge threw the ball to the deck before, but George Ford is actually out there looking for that ball. So I think the key work on from me this week has been having genuine options for the ball carrier to pass to. Whereas in Ireland last week, it was one-out runners, getting 2-man tackled. It was really, really obvious what was coming.
Here we go.
7 minutes into this match, it's now exactly 6 hours, Topsy, since an England back scored a try. That man in Paris at the end of the Six Nations.
Yeah, makes me cry a little bit as a former back. But what Dylan touched on there, we're seeing the right signs at the minute in terms of there's movement, there's pattern, there's an ability to look for space and try and find it. And that was exactly what we talked about pre-game. England kicked, Johnny May chased, retained possession, and then they countered attack with a bit of intent. So really good stuff so far.
So many options. Stewart prowling behind that scrum, edging towards the left, and that's the way England go with Ford, and then the long pass away to a returning Johnny May. He's been here before, he knows that road. 6 hours, and 6 hours is enough. And England back scores a try, and it's an old familiar face. Johnny May, England 8, Fiji 0.
No tears anymore, definitely smiling now that an English back has scored a try. And again, simple stuff at the end, but first and foremost, domination of the scrum, so they get that platform going forward. You can see George Ford just creeping to his left, already creates the overlap. Johnny May has a lot of work to do there. Talmander won't want to see that tackle again. He's got to go lower, he's got to get his man, but that's a really good finish by Johnny May. And as a person returning into the team as well, it's exactly what you would have wanted. Scoring the corner off the back of a really good kick chase and retain as well. Very positive start for England.
He was overlooked for the Six Nations, but look who's back. Out of the original World Cup 33. He's not in the World Cup 33 at the moment, but he's in the 23 today because of the injury, the World Cup ending injury to Anthony Watson. And I'm told that he is the next cab off the rank. Joe Thockiner-Singer has been with the squad as well this week, but I think if all goes to plan today, Johnny May will be on the plane to France, and he's put down a very big marker.
Well, in the last 2 minutes, he's shown exactly why he is that next man if he's going to be. Started with the kick chase, which is what you want to see. If England are going to kick, we want to chase and retain possession, but then when you get an opportunity to go one-on-one with your man and score in the corner, you do that, and that's an excellent finish by Johnny May.
That's his first England try for very nearly a couple of years, the one he scored against Tonga here in 2021. Courtney Laws. Ford. Sky's darkening above Twickenham. I think we're going to be lucky if we get away without any rain at some point today. Here's Elisa Joao-Sese.
That is good.
Likes of Joao-Sese, and there are a number of them dotted around this Fiji team today. Just the fourth cap for him. Second start after his debut last month in those Pacific Nations games against Samoa and Tonga. Simon Raiwa-Lui looking at some new faces as well. The faces that he will take to France. But it's England who have been speaking loudest so far. Mitchell. May chasing.
Is that forward or white?
Deflected back off.
There's knock on white.
Actually back off a Fiji hand, so we're playing the advantage, but because it was only a knock-on advantage, it doesn't last long. And England will try to challenge from this Fiji lineup. What does Alex Mitchell bring? Topsy, what's the difference between an Alex Mitchell and, say, a Ben Youngs or a Danny Kerr or a Jack Van Portfleet?
Well, it's an interesting one. Everyone will think of Alex Mitchell and about tempo in and around the breakdown, but his job is made infinitely easier by gain line carries and quick ball in front of him. So when we see Alex Mitchell play, we see really high tempo, really high ball speed, but he needs the forwards and the ball carriers to do their job as well.
Started to rain. The job of catching the
ball's out, you can't take it back. We go for a knock-on.
So we will come back for the earlier England knock-on, and Fiji can put some roots down with the scrum.
What's forward?
Find shelter where you can.
British summer continuing to deliver.
That was the varnish.
Eighth time that these two have met in a capped test match, including the opening night here in 2015, the 2015 World Cup. 7 years since Fiji were last here, 2016. It was 58-15 that day. England scored 9 tries. We've got one so far, 8-0 in the rain, Fiji scrum. Getting a shovel, and Lamani leading Mata, and then back to Bill Mata. Ploughed many a field with Edinburgh. Frank Lamani, Fiji's first choice 9 for the last few years now. Brief spell with Northampton without making a huge impact. We'll know plenty of these players. Freddie Stewart's high kick down with the raindrops. Test for Joao-Sese. Didn't come through. England have it. And here's Theo Dan. All action, all ambition, ball in hand. Ford, that's nice. May's chasing after it. Always second favourite. Celestino Rabatalmanda got there first, but George Ford just pulling some strings.
Goal line drop.
It's what the conditions are dictating, that there is space to kick in, and England's chase is doing a really good job at the minute. We've spoken about Johnny May previously. This time Max Malin. So the kick does drift in field from Freddie Stewart, but if you watch Malin's here and track him, he just gets one hand up to compete, and it's enough. And that's positive outcome for England. They haven't been getting more of these over the last few weeks, but now they are, and it's allowing them counter-attack opportunities.
Oh, that's gone forwards. One didn't work for England's fullback.
Release. Lost feet. Got advantage under pressure.
Muntz goes in at scrum half. Sam Matavesi.
He bailed out. He stepped off.
Semi Radradra away to the right-hand side. Ahiwaru Garika Devata waiting for it, but instead it's the kick. And another high, soggy test. This time taken by Stewart just. No.
Didn't get it.
Talk a lot about England's kicking game and the kicking game.
Scrum better on your side.
Ireland certainly box kicked more than England did last week, Dylan, in Dublin, but it was the quality of the kicking, it was the quality of the chasing.
Yeah, I think even there with Malins, that kick wasn't an incredibly good kick, but the effort and the chase turned it into a 50-50, which gave a good outcome for England. But England do kick the ball a lot. A lot of international teams kick the ball a lot. South Africa kicked the ball a lot last night. It comes down to the decision. The decision to kick is often the right one. You can't obviously control the outcome of the kick. So, like before, George Ford, there was space there. Alex Mitchell is kicked in behind. There is space there. So the decision is good to kick. Just want to get some more positive outcomes from him.
To Levy, to Muntz, to Randrandra. And then the spin on this side from Vinaya Hambosi, who is a right old handful. As of course is Randrandra, but you know that. And this man, Bill Mata, Viliami, Bill Mata. Wherever you look, Fiji have got players who can get beyond the gain line. That went forwards. But one of the features of Fiji's game, ball in hand, certainly this year and even against France a week ago, was around what we call the post-contact meters, and they're averaging 4 or 5 post-contact meters every time they carry the ball, which is some statistic, Topsy.
It's huge. It's essential for any attack because it means that the ruck is that many more meters forward, which guarantees quick ball. It means it's easy for your cleaners to get there, and then it's easier for the next phase, to see and attack space. So it's something Fiji do very, very well. They're so difficult to stop because they're powerful, they sidestep, they shift the ball as well, and it means that their game is quick, and it allows dangerous players to be even more dangerous.
Caught a glimpse of the head coach Simon Raiwalui just now. That contact area is one of the areas they've really focused on over the last few months. Tells us that they're as well prepared for a World Cup as they've ever been. They spend a lot of time together. Absolutely bucketing it down here, by the way. This kick might not be so easy for Muntz, but he struck it beautifully through the raindrops. Fiji on the board. England 8, Fiji 3. It's brought up in New Zealand, brought up in Hamilton, Waikato, which is Warren country, and Gatlin here today with the rest of the Wales coaching team. Fortnight tomorrow.
Inside.
Wales opening their World Cup campaign
Still inside.
against Fiji in Bordeaux.
And use that.
Freddie Stewart getting a lot of catching practice at the moment. Fiji onto him quickly, nudging him just beyond the halfway. There's Laws. Jack Willis, back row of Laws and Willis and Earl for England today. Another reshuffle forced by suspension.
Use the 9.
It's very much England playing to the conditions now. We always talk about teams adapting whilst they're in play, not waiting until half time, and I find it really interesting. Post Fiji scoring 3 points, they've come down with a conscious effort to play, well, not play any rugby in their own half.
Lamani's kick, forcing Stewart back. Ford tells Stewart to kick and kick long, which he does into the arms of Joao Sese.
Pass, hold on. Pass, ball on.
Lamani. Room to manoeuvre.
Freddie Stewart's actually done a brilliant job there, because you could see from the moment Lamani was under that kick, he was assessing the counter-attack option. He really wanted Stewart to bite so that he could go down the short side, but Stewart held his feet, held his nerve. Really good tackle, and again, another positive outcome for England. Good kick, good chase, and they get the turnover as well.
I know you were watching the ball go back and forth. I was just watching Dan Cole stood on the halfway line, the hands on his hips, watching it go back and forth. I mean, that's experience from the old fella.
Life will come to me eventually. In the meantime, let the youngsters chase.
Blue down.
And pushing hard, and Cole in the middle of all that. That's what he does well, push hard.
Blue was down, no collapse. Use it.
Johnny May in as emergency scrum half. Laws. Dylan pointing towards the skies accurately. Catch for Rabatamanda, one of the new faces in this Fiji team. Frank Lamani, the scrum half, one of the older ones. "20 minutes and we've had 20 kicks. Not quite so many knock-ons, but a wet ball means that far off.
Play on, talented, knocked on. Play the ball.
This is Nasila Sila. Oh, that's loose, and Tuolangi has it. Little look in his rear-view mirror at Semi Randrandra, and then a big smile.
You're right, both teams are having to pay respect to the conditions. I mean, it's changed dramatically since pre-kickoff. The sun was out, and now it's bucketing it with rain, so we're going to see a bit more kicking.
That's what I said.
Especially in this initial stages while it's wet. It's just about gaining field position ascendancy, but 8-3, the game is quite evenly poised.
Over here.
4 more games still to come with us on Prime this weekend before we start to think about packing the case. Skipper Jamie Ritchie, Finn Russell, both one last outing for Scotland later. Around the same time, Italy and Japan will be rounding off their World Cup prep in Treviso. And then this evening we will be with Ireland and Samoa as they play their final warm-up match for France in France. That game in Bayonne. And tomorrow France against Australia at the Stade de France. The next time the hosts play there, it will be the opening night a week next Friday against the All Blacks. He won't be in Paris. He'll be in Bordeaux preparing Wales for their match with Fiji. You can see Neil Jenkins under the cap as
Can I get you left and I'll bring you a bit closer?
There's Alex King. England, Argentina, Wales, Fiji. Both England and Wales in at the deep end.
Just a quiet opening weekend at that World Cup.
Fine. Set. Blue, number 1.
Penalty against Genge.
What's the picture? Hinge. Number 1, Hinge.
Are we waiting to see a trademark snarling Genge this month? What do you reckon, Dills? Is he at his best right now?
Look, his first game down in Wales at the start of the month, I think he had 10 ball carriers by half-time. I think that the blockbuster sort of ball carries that we're used to seeing in the Premiership, I think England's attacking shape at this point haven't really benefited Ellis because he's been lined up by 2 tacklers every time. So create a bit of deception, create those genuine options in and around him, and it will create one-on-one tackles for him to break.
Fiji going long at the line out. Taking out Mata. And now for the first time, ball in hand. They can threaten with Sam Matavesi. This is Tangi Valu.
Away.
And laying down some fences just outside the 22, but there need to be big fences when Randrandra is prowling around, but that's been lost, stripped away, and Alex Mitchell, no hanging around, straight with the kick, straight with the clearing kick, and first real threat Fiji, ball in hand, has been neutralised.
Just about, I think. I don't know if George Ford would call that neutralised, but they've done their homework because Semi Randrandra's early carries last weekend, he got stripped a couple of times as well, so he's looking for the big bump, the fend off, but then the ball is actually exposed, and in these conditions, very easy to strip if you're not careful.
Player down. Bomber agree. Fiji carried that into the 22 before it was stripped. Yeah.
We did ask the question when Fiji named the team, and we were told that it's the first time ever that Semi Randrandra and Waisea Nayathalevu, the captain today, have played together in midfield. Such quality players at 12 and 13. We had to double check that, but it is, and the threat that they carry together, Topsy, just amplify that for us.
Well, 2 very exciting, dangerous players that complement each other very well. So when you've got Semi Randrandra running those hard lines, it will create space for Nasser Levy on the outside. And once defenders then start to eye Semi and think, right, we probably need to have 2 defenders tackling him, then you're going to open up space up elsewhere. So it's what you want in a really good centre partnership. They complement each other very well. They can both carry direct, but then they're both equally good in space as well. So if Randrandra carries, Nasser Levy will support for the offload. If Randrandra carries hard and gets gain line, Nasser Levy will have space on the 2nd or 3rd phase. So we've not seen them to the fore as a pairing yet, but as it starts to dry up, which it looks like it might, we might see a bit more of that.
Yep, stopped raining.
Driven backwards.
One try so far. Scored by an England back, which is the banner headline. Johnny May. First one scored by an England back in 6 hours of game time. 2 so far in this series for England. Both scored by forwards, Maro Itoje and Carl Sinclair. And Itoje goes in and wins the ball brilliantly. Sensed that the ball was out and in so quickly. Mitchell to Genge to Ford. Oh, and through the hands of Stewart, but gathered by Tuolangi, and Lawrence decides to kick. And picked up by Elisa Drasese, Fiji's fullback. Albert Tuasui has mischief on his mind. In he goes. Used to create mayhem not far from here for London Irish, a Gloucester player these days. Randrandra, once of Bristol. He's off to Lyon next season.
Come on!
Matavesi.
Blue offside.
England offside. Randrandra. This is Lukatangi,
And away.
the tight head prop. Muntz, Nathan Levu. And
No
forwards,
advantage.
back we come.
Offside. Yeah. Offside.
Johnny
So
May
quick.
might have picked up a little bit of a stinger.
Well, he had a big one-on-one tackle to make on that far left-hand side. He gives it a go, comes back for more, but that is a back running against, a forward running against the back, sorry. Tangi Valu would have eyed that one up and said, I'm winning this battle, but fair play. Johnny May came back for seconds, although he's maybe just making sure that he's still got sensation in his shoulders.
There's Tangi Valu. And Lavani Bottia has got the weekend off. It's the first time we've seen Tangi Valu at 7. He's won his first 2 caps on the blind side, so every World Cup coach just having a look around, seeing who might fit where best ahead of the World Cup. And that's loose, and Dan loses it, so Randrandra can plot. Tangi. There is Tangi Valu. And that's gone loose, and England have it back with Laws. And now Fiji think it might be their ball. And Garika Deveta waits for it, and Randrandra.
That goes forward. And new advantage. Goes forward now.
That was a bumper edition of mistakes. Equally spread between the two. England with the advantage, but not for long. Stewart kicks it away to Lamani.
Hold on.
Malins. Give that all he had. Nice to draw Sese.
Hold on, play.
Ford making sure that everybody's onside, and Stewart will chase. And Randrandra underneath, and Randrandra through his hands, picked up by Naitha Levu.
Play on his feet.
It's gone forwards. It's as if the ball's electrocuted. Dills, what is going on here? You played this game 97 times. What on earth is happening out there?
Oh my gosh, it's quite clear. It's like a bar of soap. Yeah, someone just needs to grab the game by the scruff of the neck and just shore things up. A nice strong carry, stop forcing balls. But I think the incentive to play when you've got advantage is to have a crack, and I like the intent behind that. So I'm not going to begrudge anyone for giving it a go. And you've got Fiji here, who are the specialists of having it a go as well. So no, I think that's that was a bit of an arm wrestle there for territory. I think halfway line's a pretty fair result for both teams.
Dan Cole just getting some treatment. You may well have noticed, by the way.
No, this is the Kit Kat. This is take a minute, have a break.
Yeah.
The oldest, gnarliest person in the team. We just need to slow things down, shore things up, have a word with each other, look after the ball, simmer things down a little bit, and then when we go back to the scrum, we're back on to 100. So I think that's good awareness by Coley, or he could be injured.
Chap in the middle, by the way, I'm sure loads of you will recognise, just passing on the instructions, part of Simon Raiwalui's Fiji coaching team, the great Daryl Gibson, who is looking after Fiji's defence these days. Glenn Jackson is, I think, down on the touchline. Brad Harris, top right, is the line out and maul man. Graham Hughes in the back row, middle of the back row. Great prop, part of the team that reached the quarterfinals in 2007. Team that beat Wales along the way before losing to South Africa in the quarterfinals. The last time, I think surprisingly, the last time, 2007, that Fiji actually made it out of the pools. We'll be hopeful this year.
Elbow up, don't overhit. Let's go. Crouch.
Fiji's scrum coach Graham Hughes with an extra specially close eye on this right now. Bill Matter in the red boots at the back, looking to control things.
Take it out, 9. Use it.
A bit of a shove, but not enough to dislodge the ball. Randrandra. Ravutamanda in support. Tuasui waiting to be of some assistance, and here he is.
No hand.
After half an hour as a replacement against France for the injured Meli Darina Langi last week. That's why he's starting today, and then the tackle from Dan and company. Once again, Fiji with those post-contact meters that we've mentioned. Mariki Deveta. Tangi Valu. Dan Cole shot out. Muntz. It's held on to by Ollie Lawrence.
Away! No hands! No hands, 6! Leave it, put it down, Well done.
Courtney Law's given a free ride. On we go. Fiji, most phases for them so far in this contest. Half an hour played at Twickenham. Just the Johnny May try of significance so far, but maybe something here. Ravutamanda, brilliantly played. That's magnificent. This is Nayathalevu. That's Fiji. Wow, wow, wow. That's how you unlock doors.
Brilliant stuff, just putting all the facets together. Really strong, tight carries, making England miss. And then creating a one-on-one mismatch, one of your dangerous players, Ravutamanda, off the right foot twice. Acceleration and a finish by Nayathalevu, but we are coming back for a TMO check.
Yes, yeah, coach, just want to show you the last pass.
Okay.
TMO is Brian McNeice.
First angle coming up here now.
Was this forward from Ravutamanda?
Okay, it goes forward out of the hands, doesn't it?
Suspiciously so.
Up on that?
Yeah. Yes, if you see it here, forward out of the
Towards
hands.
the line.
Towards the line,
Okay.
correct.
Sometimes you just want to hang pictures on the wall anyway, don't you? Because they're so beautiful. But yeah, we're all shaking our heads up here, including Dylan.
It was a beautiful bit of individual brilliance. I'm so happy it happened before I opened my mouth, because I thought England had them contained to that point. Fiji were very one out, 2-man tackles by England, very dominant, and then a little bit of individual brilliance, catching a lazy defender on the inside. I think my old mate Dan Cole there was left wanting on the inside. Topsy's nodding, it was a forward pass.
Well, no, I think the issue England had was they were making their tackles, but they're ending up with 2 or 3 players on the floor every time. So while it looked like gain line parity, Fiji was slowly creating either a mismatch or an overlap. So it's something England are going to need to be aware of. We've talked about the post-contact meters. If they don't get Fiji down and then slow the ball speed down, there might still be opportunities for Fiji to exploit like they did there.
Fiji missing Joshua Tuasova, he's not fully fit at the moment, and Juita Wanigolo, who started against France, but
Screwing around.
in Rabuta Munda they clearly have somebody who carries a large set of keys around with them as well.
Ball got stuck there. Yeah. And both teams. Let's keep square. Square enough.
15th set piece of the match. 8 line-out, 7 scrums.
Fine. Set. All out.
Reni Mauer, the Saracens, loose head. Trying to add pressure on English shoulders, but the scrum was solid, as was the kick from Ford.
A really good kick by George Ford. I think Hambosi just left his position in the backfield a bit too early. Gave Ford loads of space to aim for and finds a really good touch.
It's Holly Davidson, by the way, a little bit of history for the Scot. The first woman to run a line here in a men's test match. Pierre Brousset, Frenchman, on the other side of the pitch, but special day for Holly Davidson. One of the best referees in the game in her own right. And then away by Matavesi, he found some room, and now Fiji flying again, and Randrandra just puts Malins on the floor. Teammates not so long ago in their Bristol days. But once again, the quality of the handling, and then the running, and now Fiji asking questions and hoping. Nasti Lasila. Veriki De Vetta gets back into position. And again, the meters that they make, ball in hand, and you can imagine that Tuasui will only add on to that. Lamani hops into it. Jana Sese.
That's the last feed.
Naitha Levu sprints back onto this bigger open side. Veriki De Vetta. Tuasui adding his shoulder work. This is Luka Tongi. Heading into double figures phase-wise. Maui just about held on to it. Mata. Oh, and that's gone forwards. It's one of the themes of the opening half an hour, the wet ball, the number of handling errors.
I don't know. It's not clear to me.
Again, some really good play by Fiji and showing some brilliant football there by Matavesi that just creates indecision and creates those gaps in between the England defence. It's something they're doing really well.
Hang on.
So mixing up those direct carries with footwork before contact.
We'll wait. We can't check that. We can't check that.
Courtney took a blow to the head, to the neck, maybe. Sam Matavesi, by the way, it's already been a very, very good week for the Northampton hooker.
No.
He won a promotion in the Royal Navy this week. They turned up and surprised him at their training session at Hazelwood, the old London Irish training ground this week, and they awarded him his hooks.
I can't confirm that, so I can't play that.
He's a very proud Navy man. He was actually here in May for the Army-Navy match when he played on the flank. Occasionally see him doing that for Northampton as well. He is some player. Courtney Law's back in the line now. He doesn't need any introduction to Sam Matavesi. Two of them big mates at the Gardens. Tangi Valu, the last to take his place. Although whatever was planned, it clearly did not come off. One of the uglier lineups that you'll see this August.
Playing advantage for no arms.
No arm tackle. England with the penalty, so Ford hammers it long to see what might come of it. Not much.
Number 1.
It's Aroni Maui going in very low on Ellis Genge.
They just got that wrong.
He started May's Premiership final here. Won the Premiership final with Saracens Maui. He's one of those Fijians who's been busily impressing the coaches ahead of this World Cup. Maui and Dan, teammates up the road at Saracens.
Timing's up.
To the final 5 minutes of this first half at Twickenham. Powering his way through. And draws the penalty. I think it's gone against Mariki Deveta.
Near advantage, off his feet.
Another one.
Rocking on hands.
Ford, May, Stewart. He's been on the attempted tackle of Vinaya Hambosi. Chesham, not mentioned his name much in this first 40. England still with the advantage. Ford still on his toes. Ollie Lawrence.
Side entry and then counter up on hands.
Good play by England there. Good bit of variety at the line out. I think the game's been flip-flopping back and forth, a bit about unstructured, quite sloppy for the last 20-odd minutes. So I think for England to go back to where they probably pride themselves
from the side
at the maul in this sort of weather, to get a bit of control into the game and then get advantage and play away. Very smart play and encouraging to see them go for the corner again. And in terms of variety, we've just seen them keep it in. Early lineouts, we saw them play away to Manu Tuilagi up the middle of the field. Be interesting to see what they do here.
The line-out operation won't be helped by the rain, which has started to fall again.
Timing.
Theo Dan giving the ball an extra special wipe. Ollie Chesham in the middle of all this. Called by Itoje to Chesham. It's a good setup. Dan locks in at the base of it. Mitchell's there should it be needed, but for the time being, England will be happy to truck this up, and Fiji desperately trying to funnel back and slow things down if they can, but
8 wide collapsing. Steady goal.
penalty on the way. Bill Mata picked out by Jaco Paper. Fiji have steadied things, Dylan.
George Ford screaming for the ball here. You see his right hand in the air. He wants that ball.
Another one. Number 1.
Heinous crime if this ball doesn't come out.
Here it is. Ford behind Stewart to Johnny May. Malins with a run into the corner. Shouts to beat. Tried to go underneath them and aquaplane in.
Number 1.
However, England with the advantage. Arona Maui, Fiji's number 1, and it'll be a yellow card.
2 collapses on the goal line. Number 1.
It's not specifically for that offence, but for a couple in quick succession, with England pushing towards what might have been the second try.
He's on the floor and he pulls that down. Two collapses on the same ball.
I'd expect England to go for the corner here.
Yeah,
go for the jugular.
As long as you
3
don't dive on
lineouts
the
in a
plane.
row.
If he dives, you can dive.
And all of them have been mauled
Thank you.
with success, so I'd like to see them do
Here
it
we
again.
go. Are you ready? Ready?
That's what they're going to do. So Fiji's line-out defence now without the bulk of that man.
Come in.
Sam Matavesi pointing, making sure that Fiji fill holes where they can. Dan once again to Chesham. Theo Dan has it. England rumbling.
Blue players on the floor. Only blue players on the floor.
They've lost some players. off that driven ball, and more than that, they've lost possession. Excellent Fijian defence.
England shooting themselves in the foot a bit there. I love the intent and the enthusiasm of players joining them all, but they often compromise the ball carrier at the back. It's a really difficult position to be in with your head down, trying to find your way to and trusting the people in front of you to find their way to the try line. And when people join from the back and they almost block you up and asphyxiate you in that maul, you want to be free at the back of the maul so you can make good decisions. If Alex Mitchell wants the ball, you want to be able to give him the ball. And those players joining there with all that impact and enthusiasm, they need to make sure that they're driving England over the line. If not, they've compromised it, and that's the result we get. A big old mess.
Because we have a scrum, and Fiji are missing Aroni Maui at the moment. We need a Fijian loose head, so Chone Koroin Dua
plenty of blue players on the floor. They know they're not their players, so they didn't collapse it.
Akima Tangi Valu is the one who's been sacrificed for the time being. Fiji with that full complement of 1, 2, 3 in the front row, or 17, 2 and 3 as it is.
Patient. Square and break foot. Not yet. Approach.
Lightning above the stadium.
Set. Bad engage.
And the thunder as well.
Okay, we'll do it again. We got it. Bit of a bad engage from the back. Right, all in. One shot, push one. Stay patient. Yes, sir. Patient. Approach.
It's taken so long to get this scrum down that Fiji can end this first half here should they wish. And that's what they take. So just the one try in the first half. Courtney Laws, the skipper, leading England out as he won his 100th cap, and then Johnny May skating in for the only try. We might have had two, but Waisea Nayathilevu's absolute beauty was ruled out for a forward pass. So at half-time here at a damp and soggy Twickenham, it is England 8, Fiji 3.
He bulleted that pass 20.4 meters.
This live stream is made possible to the kind sponsorship and support of the following. Calling all adventurers, students and explorers, are you ready to embrace a new way of experiencing Fiji's beauty? Introducing the Ngangi My Bike Leasing campaign.
Otherwise, no changes to either side at half-time. Flying to their World Cup base in 2K.
Get ready to embark on an unforgettable journey powered by sustainable transportation. Imagine exploring Fiji's stunning landscapes, commuting freely and reducing your carbon footprint, all with Ngangi Mai's innovative electric bikes. Lease a Ngangi Mai bike and unlock the freedom to travel at your own pace while contributing to a greener and more sustainable future. Whether you're a student, tourist or local resident, Ngangimai Bike Leasing offers you the ultimate convenience and flexibility. Join the growing community of Ngangimai riders who have experienced the joy of exploring Fiji on two wheels. With affordable leasing packages and a range of benefits, Ngangimai makes it easy for you to access sustainable transportation and enhance your Fiji experience. Don't miss out on this exciting opportunity. Reserve your Ngangimai bike lease today and start your unforgettable adventure.
Kiasi na bosa bitokoni tu yani wana timu ni Flying Fijian wanyuni bina na wange boys toso bichi toso
bulub naka donga mena mai sa kawa wanyuni bina ka yani kim do na Flying Fijian boys toso bichi toso.
We would like to wish the Fiji Water Flying Fijians all the very best in their test match against England this weekend. So if you are watching from home, please choose Cover Bound, Takimanda. Go Fiji go! Go Fiji go! Toso Miki Toso! Toso Miki Toso!
Yes, Fiji will have to see out at least the first 6-7 minutes of this second half without the man that we've just seen, Eroni Maui, who's still serving his yellow card as England pushed hard for what would have been the second try just before half-time. So Chone Korindua is still with us. Otherwise, no changes to either side at half-time. England fly to their World Cup base in Lutuke, North Pas-de-Calais, on Thursday. So 40 minutes left to head there feeling as good about life as they possibly can. And likewise for Fiji as they head a little further south. And the rain stopped. Thunder and lightning seems to have moved elsewhere.
Back of blue.
40 minutes of rehearsing left. Courtney Lawes,
how many?
Probably England's best player in that first 40 minutes. Certainly did a shed load of work. Matavesi, as always, impressive for Fiji, taking out Randrandra.
Kanurak is good.
England working hard on the floor. Atoje central to that, but Fiji and Caleb Muntz, their fly half, will have it. And here's Verika de Beta.
Balls out this.
It's Theo Dan who came through and made life difficult, but couldn't profit to Asui got there. Fiji been very comfortable with possession. They've been rolling through the phases. Randrandra to Matavesi, who has to work hard to protect that slim 4-metre blind side.
Tackles made.
Well, that's been lost.
Backwards anyway.
Dan was on it first. And there's space behind the Fiji defence that Dylan Hartley was pointing at up here in the commentary box, and George Ford sought to find.
Fiji. Yes, I'm known for my tactical ability. Just quite a frustrating sort of start to the half for England. You just have 15 minutes, you come out, you've got a kick-off set up in front of you, and you don't claim the ball. This is a sort of stronghold, we need to get a grip of the game, catch that ball in a pod, get them all going, control the game, get it by the scruff of the neck, and to come out and have a loose ball from the off just sets the tone for how this next 40 minutes could go. So quite disappointing start there from England.
And you double down on that by Freddie Stewart fumbling that ball and then kicking it out on the full. So from a position where England had turned the ball over. They now find themselves again defending a line out just outside their 22.
Matavesi, well, I think it was meant for maybe Tuasui, whoever it was meant for. Fiji end up with it, and Randrandra to Rabatalmanda. Oh, Rabatalmanda with those sparkling feet is off again, and here he goes, and this one will count. Waisea Nyathalevu, England's defence shredded, and Fiji this time do score the try, and it's another beauty.
Thank you, Pierre. In line, pass is good.
Outstanding stuff by Fiji. Same two players as the first half, combining again. Rabatalmanda with the initial burst. It's a ropey pass by Randrandra, but then just half a second, stutter step, outside break. Johnny May won't want to see that again, and then the supporting line. Nyathalevu spoke about it. Any half break, get on the shoulder, and from scrappy possession, it's a brilliant finish out of nothing. Stutter step to the outside, double fend. Find your centre, and hopefully no doubts about that being a forward pass. Really good try.
He scored tries now in his last 3 tests. The only Fijian survivor from the team that played here on the opening night in the 2015 World Cup. And now for Caleb Muntz, a kick in front of the post to put Fiji ahead. England 8, Fiji 10.
Last time England kicked off in the first half, they kicked straight to Bill Mata, who's probably their biggest ball carrier. And he had a nice, big, solid carry. And then Lamani put it right into his right foot, so which suited Fiji perfectly. So interesting to see England going straight back to it again, playing into Fiji's hands, in my opinion.
Mata drives it up. One of the reasons Fiji do make so many of those post-contact meters we've been talking a lot about. Sese, Ford, that clever questioning. Oh, he didn't quite get the fortune. Kiss off the post that went the wrong way from an England perspective.
Close, but not quite close enough. You can see exactly what he wanted. That positive outcome to give England a line out to defend 5 metres from the Fiji line, but doesn't quite get the bounce right. Like, England need to now generate some positive outcomes. You know, you wouldn't think they were still a man up. Fiji have 2.5 minutes left on the sin bin. But it's for England now to regenerate that momentum. Yes, it's testing conditions, but the onus is on them now.
Johnny May clobbered by Rabatalmanda. Dan comes into his opposite number, Matavesi. Ford.
Blue 6, neck grab. That's it over here. Previous breakdown.
Courtney Laws.
By you, Courtney.
With the neck roll.
That's a neck grab. Is that the initial breakdown close to the touchline?
That 100 club that he's joined today, by the way, the English 100 club, very exclusive one. Just 4 other members before Lords joined it. Jason Leonard, Ben Youngs, Owen Farrell and Dan Cole.
Yeah, that's good.
You came close, Dills. 3 short.
Yeah, rugby gods. Wasn't meant to be. Wasn't written in the stars. Rightly so.
No, straight down. Play on. No clear knock.
Winning it, and then Verika Deveta driving it on, and
that's a knock on.
Loose ball.
No, first one.
Sealer tried to pick it up.
One.
He's become a regular starter since his debut a year ago. So Nasila Sealer. So many of these players play for the Fijian Drua team who've come into Super Rugby over the last couple of years, and we can see the combinations. The back 3, 15, 14, 11, all Fijian Drua, Sese, Rabatalmanda, Hambosi, who we haven't seen so much of. The halfbacks, Muntz and Lamani.
Right feet.
And the 2 locks, Nasi Lasila, Bariki Deveta.
Fine.
Fiji using those combinations well again today. Final few seconds on Aroni Maui's yellow card ticking down. Ford, Lawrence.
Not on the ball.
England's midfield today so far not creating the mayhem that Naithalevu and Randrandra have created for Fiji.
Not the first man.
Plenty of power, plenty of ambition. Topsy, who have you had your eye on?
Just looking at Alex Mitchell and where England can inject momentum from. This left side, well, even though the scrum wheels, there is loads of space. You've got Mitchell, you've got Stewart, and you've got May against one defender on that left-hand side of that scrum. These are the opportunities that England